Signs you're dealing with a narcissist. Are you dealing with a narcissist? Narcissism is a disorder where a person has an inflated sense of self-importance. When a person has extreme self-involvement and relies on admiration, they might have a narcissistic personality disorder. There are two types of this behavior: vulnerable and grandiose narcissism. As a child, vulnerable narcissists suffered rejection and lack of affection, so they grow and refuse to care about anybody but themselves. The vulnerable narcissistic person is hypersensitive, and easily hurt. They want to make up for the lost time of their childhood and not feel like they did then, ever again. The opposite and grander narcissism is the grandiose. Grandiose narcissists were taught since they were children that they were better than everyone else. Their superior-minded upbringing becomes a stepping stone for their adult personalities as they continue to feel that everyone is beneath them. This personality behavior is only an extension of what they are used to. Now that we have established that narcissism is a childhood stain and reaction, we may want to identify the signs. Here are 15 signs you have already seen and need confirmation to determine that you are dealing with a narcissist. 15. Entitlement. You may identify a sense of the person thinking that you owe them everything they asked. If you are not allowed to say no to them or take time to think about a request they made, you are dealing with a narcissist. The narcissist finds it insulting that you are not immediately bowing at their feet and taking commands. If you know them well, they feel that your open will to take decisions without their input is losing control over you. 14. Arrogant. You will not meet a single narcissist who is not walking around with their nose high up in the air and them looking down on everyone. Arrogance is on brand for someone who thinks they are better than you. They would take offense if you tried to show them where they went wrong. And they will refuse to believe that you know so much as to lecture them on rights and wrongs. Considering how everyone is beneath them in their heads, arrogance is a common trait. 13. Never apologize. Once we have settled the part about them believing they know more than you, we can move on to the absence of apology in their lives. A selfish person considers themselves to be always right. And the dissenting opinions are wrong. So it is impossible to get them to apologize genuinely. If you convince a narcissist to apologize to you, they will find a way to make the apology about themselves and not you. 12. No empathy. A common trait of a narcissist is that they lack empathy for people around them. They are too self-absorbed that they forget to be sensitive to the people around them. Empathy is a natural human instinct where we sympathize and feel what others are going through. Narcissists are never open to feeling any emotion beyond self-importance. And that could be unfair to the people around them. So if you are dealing with someone who doesn't show empathy towards you and their other loved ones, they are narcissistic. 11. Need for admiration. There is a dire need for admiration when a person is narcissistic. They can only feel on top of the world and above everyone if people look up to them. A need for admiration is not the primary concern, it is how much they crave this admiration. You might even be labeled a wrong person for failing to show constant admiration to boost their egos. When you start spotting the rush for admiration become intense and almost demanded, then you know that you're dealing with a narcissist. 10. Fish for compliments. When you fail to give compliments to a narcissistic person, they may demand it. They could trick you into paying them compliments by asking leading questions. When they don't go on that route, then be ready to be attacked for refusing to pay them nice compliments. The compliments fuel their personality runs on, so they will find a way to get it out of you. If you notice this irrational drive to hear nice things from you, you might be dealing with a narcissist. 9. Fear of attachment. In relationships, a narcissist will never tell you how they truly feel. They will also avoid putting labels on your relationship, because that is not what they are used to. They do not want to make you feel too important in their lives. So instead, they will keep you close while still keeping their options open for when they find someone who complements their status and personality better. Preferably someone they could use to feed their egos. In friendships, narcissists are always hungry for acquaintances, never serious friends. 8. No long-time friendships. There are many people that a narcissist knows to keep around them. Those in the class they wish to be in, and those they consider their admirers and who are beneath them. When you look closely, they don't hold a solid relationship with them. Or the people become aware of their narcissism and walk out of their lives. If a person is angry that you are not spending all your time with them or have time for other friends, which is not them, they might be narcissists. Not having long-term friends is a testament to their narcissism. 7. Pick on you. It starts as jokes and teasing, but you may realize that a narcissist quickly picks on you for laughs. When in public, if they make you the subject of their jokes for no reason and are mean to you, they may be a narcissist. When a person acts friendly to you in private but wants to expose your flaws and tell people embarrassing things you explained to them in secrecy, they may be playing out their narcissistic nature before your eyes. And, you have to pay attention. You are dealing with a narcissist. 6. Manipulative. When you try to reason out a situation with a person, but they constantly try to make you feel wrong, you might be dealing with a narcissist. A narcissist gets you to do the things they want by making you feel indebted to them. They can successfully get what they want from you by controlling the situation. The manipulation could be found in all their activities and interactions. Once you encounter someone who controls you by using indirect tactics, you might have found a narcissist. 5. Gaslighting. This is a step up from manipulation. When a person constantly changes details and turns stories on their head to make you feel wrong, that person is selfish. So, not admitting to faults but instead finding technicalities to use as leverage over you. A narcissistic person will make you think that the things that happened are in your imagination or that you are overreacting when they hurt you. They use that ability to gaslight to stay out of taking responsibility for their actions. 4. No responsibility. The narcissistic person in your life does not take responsibility for anything. They don't apologize, are manipulative, and are best at gaslighting. If you know someone never takes responsibility for their actions but instead shifts blame, you know a narcissist. To take responsibility is to admit to wrongdoing, and that is not a habit narcissists harbor. They cannot even stomach the thought of it. 3. Identity disturbance. This is a bit tricky, and you might look out for it much longer. A narcissistic person believes in retaining their personality and status. They are also filled with ideas that people must hold the same view of them as they do themselves. If you find a weird trend where they get defensive when people tell them about themselves, and it doesn't correspond with the image in their head, they must be narcissistic. So once you find that they care more about controlling their image in people's minds, you have your answer about whether you are dealing with a narcissist or not. 2. Vulnerable to changes. A narcissist likes to stay in the same spot where people admire them. Going to a new environment, be it school, country, or job, they become vulnerable. The change means that they have to deal with other narcissistic people who have already solidified their place at this new spot they are going to. They may not take it lightly. You are dealing with a narcissist if they are more worried about how people will receive them instead of what the new chapter holds. 1. Fear of rejection. If saying no can make a person lose their self-worth, then they are narcissistic. You may find people who refuse to approach people they like for fear of rejection. Many people will not start a business because they don't know how to take investors saying no and people not liking their marketing campaigns. Those are all narcissistic behavior. The fear of rejection is the most vital characteristic of a narcissist. So you have probably found out by this point that you might be dealing with a narcissist. The plot twist could also be that you are exhibiting narcissistic signs yourself without knowing. Whatever the case, you might want to work your way out of this situation because dealing with a narcissist is mentally draining. What other signs do you find associated with narcissistic behavior? And how have you tried to address them? Please let us know in the comments below.